Folks, I want to say something about Marco Rubio. I don't spend a lot of time on this program talking about the guy. You know how I feel about him. But I want you to do something for me. I want you to set aside temporarily everything about Marco Rubio's background. I want you to forget temporarily about his Gang of Eight bill. I want you to forget temporarily about his past support for amnesty and things such as that. Forget all about that just for a few moments while I make my point. Marco Rubio, here's a guy that understands better than most the threat that we are facing in this country. And by threat, I mean the progressive left. Marco Rubio is a man who understands that the progressives and their liberal ideology, their redistribution of wealth policies, are intentionally designed to aid in the destruction and unmaking of our country. He understands that the threat we're facing is not just mere incompetence. It's not just stupidity. It's not just a bunch of political leftists who don't know what they're doing. Marco Rubio and others, but I'm focusing on Rubio here, understands what these people are all about. They're not stupid. I mean, in some ways they are, but in some ways they know exactly what they're doing. He knows that the left is actively trying to fundamentally transform our country. He gets it. And I bring this up because Rubio stated that multiple times in the debate Saturday night, that Barack Obama knows what he's doing, and this is all intentional. Here he is from the debate Saturday night. Listen.
And let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. Barack Obama is undertaking a systematic effort to change this country, to make America more like the rest of the world. That's why he passed Obamacare and the stimulus and Dodd-Frank and a deal with Iran. It is a systematic effort to change America. When I'm president of the United States, we are going to re-embrace all the things that made America the greatest nation in the world, and we are going to leave our children what they deserve, the single greatest nation in the history of the world.
All right, again, set aside everything about Rubio. There's people talking about how everything always sounds scripted or robotic. Set all of that aside and pay attention to what he just said there. I truly believe that statement was one of the greatest statements, one of the smartest, most insightful, and necessary comments that have been made out of all the previous GOP debates we've seen. This point hasn't been brought up very much, if at all, in these debates. They've gone after Obama, of course. They've gone after Hillary, of course. But Rubio is one of the only ones who is courageous enough to say the truth. That is that the left seeks to destroy this country. Rubio said it again just a few moments later in the debate Saturday night. Listen to this.
I think this is an important point. We have to understand what we're going through here. We are not facing a president that doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he is doing. That's why he's done the things he's done. That's why we have a president that passed Obamacare and the stimulus. All this damage he's done to America is deliberate. This is a president that's trying to redefine this country. That's why this election is truly a referendum on our identity as a nation, as a people. Our future is at stake. This election is not about the past. It is about what kind of country this is going to be in the 21st century. And if we elect someone like Barack Obama, a Hillary Clinton, a Bernie Sanders, or anyone like that, our children are going to be the first Americans to inherit a diminished country that will not have
He's exactly right, folks. He hit it out of the park on that one. This is deliberate. This is a planned, thought-out attack on the constitutional fabric of our society. That's what it is. That's what it has been. Since the day 7 years ago Obama declared that he's going to fundamentally transform this country. And even decades before, these progressive leaders, Lyndon Johnson, FDR, Woodrow Wilson, these people have been involved in a plot to unmake this country and to remake it in their really in their Marxist visions, in their dreams of utopia, which is really dystopia. That's what's going on. And I've said it before, folks. You know, I've always believed this, and I've always repeated it. So yeah, Marco Rubio should be praised for bringing this up. It was a point that needed to be brought up. It was a point that needed to be discussed. Because we as conservatives, if we want to win this country back, if we want to defeat this totalitarian regime, this growing tyranny in our country that calls itself liberalism, that calls itself progressivism, we need to know who the enemy is and what they're doing. We need to know the truth. And we need to say it and we need to repeat it. We can't buy into this idea that Barack Obama is just stupid. We can't buy into this idea that the Democrat leaders are just stupid, that they don't know what they're doing, that they're somehow inexperienced politicians, just mindless buffoons. They're mindless buffoons in the sense that they believe in this false utopia. In that sense, yeah, they're incompetent. But in the sense that they actually know what they're doing, that all of this is intentional to achieve this utopian vision, they're not incompetent. Look at what's going on in this country, folks. We're seeing power centralized more and more in the hands of fewer and fewer. We're seeing economic decay. The highest number of people exiting the labor force since the 1970s. We're seeing median household incomes go down. We're seeing wages fall flat. We're seeing youth unemployment on the rise. We're seeing a debt that I believe just the other day passed 19 trillion. We're seeing a country that's becoming more and more consumed by a socialist state, by burdening regulations, by an out-of-control government that is injecting itself into every aspect of our lives, which is hurting businesses, it's hurting families. Not only economically, but constitutionally as well. These are constitutional violations as well. We're seeing moral dislocation. The lines between right and wrong, good versus evil, are being blurred as the government continues to grow. These are all things that we have seen under the Obama administration. And if you think all of this is just the result of some stupid president who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, you're wrong.